2, 1. So. Hey guys, it is
Tanya and Troy.
Tanya and Troy, the 513 Pickers.
We've decided.
The name's growing on us.
We made our little dolls in the box, and I loved it, so it's fine.
So we're kind of sticking with
We're going to stick with it.
It's working with us.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah. What's up?
It has been a few weeks since we've done one of these.
Somebody was sick.
I was sick, and then last week was weird. I don't know what happened last week, but
we were tired.
We might have been just tired.
we're old.
It's because we're getting old. But it's been a few weeks since we did the 3 things. And just to remind you, 3 things. 3 things that we bought. And 3 things that we sold. And we're going to tell you about a little bit of history about the things that we bought and sold.
Yes.
And just
education, if you will.
Discussion around it.
Well,
so
not so much discussion, just fun facts.
Fun facts. So, like always, I'll go first.
Always, yes.
Always. Yes.
Always.
So we live in Cincinnati, or just outside of Cincinnati, actually Westchester, if you know where Cincinnati is.
Okay, you don't have to give them everything. You can give home address too.
Yeah, don't want to give you a home address. So we were out doing some Goodwill thrifting the other day in Deerfield Township, which is near Mason.
Don't tell them all the little secret spots.
All of our little secret spots. And I tell you, if you're in a Goodwill long enough, you wait until they bring out the new racks. That is always the trick.
You're a new rack vulture.
Yeah, that is kind of like you hover around the doors
vulture
to the back room, and you wait for them to bring out these new racks. And when they do, sometimes you can find really cool stuff.
He waits and he lurks and then he pounces.
So the funny thing was, I didn't actually catch the new rack, but I saw the girl, and I saw her putting
stalked the girl
this away, and I said, "Just give it to me." And she's just like, "Here you go." And then a couple seconds later, here she comes with another one. So
but that sounds like you stalked her and then you jacked her for her stuff.
I did. I was just like, "Give me that.
Give me that right now."
And these were just normal Goodwill prices. I always like to say we don't really talk about prices too much, but this was normal Goodwill prices. But this was a really cool find, Pendleton. I actually have a video. If you go back and watch, I'm going to plug my video that I did on some of my Pendleton collection.
Little education,
literally
Pendleton 101.
I found these the day after. Now, these aren't the cool board shirts, but they're still 1970s, maybe early 80s from the tag. This one has the leather patches on the elbows, which makes it super cool. I call them
I like to read, I'm a professor patches.
Yeah, I love the patterns on these. And like I said, I found 2 of them.
Woohoo!
2 of them, which was awesome. So again, if you're interested in Pendleton stuff, go back and watch my video because
it's Pendleton 101. That's
Pendleton,
what it is.
That's my collection. I'm kind of proud of it.
Yeah, but I think you give a little education as well about tags, time periods.
Yes, these 2.
Wow.
These 2 I found, again, coming off those racks. I love just stalking the racks.
It didn't come off the rack. The poor girl didn't get a chance.
I took them out of her hands. But yeah, so this label is really cool label. These are both large. Okay. Great feel to them. You can feel like the age of old Pendleton stuff. So these are 2 things that I found.
Okay, that does feel different actually than like modern wool.
Absolutely.
Huh.
Yeah. And it
feels stronger.
Yeah. And the one thing that I sold is Pendleton-esque. Now, this Levi's...
Pendleton adjacent.
It's Pendleton adjacent. Now, this Levi's jacket was made in the 1990s. I'll put the picture of it there. And I sold it to a person, and I've actually had this jacket for way, way, way too long.
Yes. The one. Yes, it is the cool patch on the back.
He kept on asking me questions about it. He's like, is this Pendleton? Is this a Pendleton collab with Levi's?
Oh, okay.
And I don't think... And put it in the comments if you know, but Pendleton started only doing collabs with Levi's, I think, in the early 2000s. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think that the Levi's collab went all the way back to the 1990s. But the look of the Levi's jacket,
that Pendleton feel to it, though.
Yeah, it has that really cool Aztec pattern, Western pattern.
Saddle blanket.
Yeah.
It looks like it's part of a saddle blanket to me on the back.
Yeah, but usually the Pendleton, this one didn't have any markings on the inside or like Pendleton collab.
Could have been an early.
Levi's would always, when they collabed with Pendleton, they have they put the Pendleton inside. of the jacket. So, but it still was a cool look. It's a great jacket.
I don't understand
yeah,
why you had it so
it
long.
took me way too long to
Sell it. So sometimes you're with the trend, and it just got to wait for that right person to get it.
Yeah, and it was also part of my personal collection for a while too. So I did wear that jacket quite a bit.
So you wore it a bunch, and then you finally sold it.
And then I finally sold it, but it was in great condition. So
I don't know. It's a killer piece. I liked it.
Absolutely.
I liked it a lot. Awesome.
All right.
So you found it.
Pass it to you.
So we found. I found.
Yes.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yes.
I found.
Start with the found.
Okay. So I found a collection of studio pottery mid-century mugs. MCM, but it's like the studio.
I know things.
So this isn't like necessarily like a brand name, but this could have been a private studio, an artist studio. Okay. I actually found 3 of them. So I'll put all the different, they're all a little bit different, which I love even more. I wish I'd found more of them. I'm just obsessed with studio pottery right now. When I first started going out there and looking at ceramics, to me, studio pottery meant the primitive stuff. Oh, those crocks, those umbrella stands, things like that.
I put a picture.
Which are cool, but it's not my vibe, and I didn't find the interest in it. One thing that I'm figuring out now is what I love. The West German pottery from the mid-century. That stuff is amazing. It's a little overwhelming. I don't see those in, our Goodwills. I mean, maybe you have some. Send them my way. They're kind of amazing. They are statement pieces. They are so bold in color. So I kind of felt like this had that feeling for me, along with this others in the set. And I mean, studio pottery is just kind of the thing that I'm just loving right now. I'm learning about it. I'm learning the different styles, shapes, time periods. So I'm really excited about this. Unbranded, but that doesn't bother me. I just love finding it all. And sometimes even when it is unbranded, it'll be like an artist that worked for a certain studio or a commercial place for a while. And then maybe branched out on their own. But I don't know. These are just kind of really pretty.
They are amazing.
They're just really pretty to me. And I'm just ready to pair them with all kinds of good stuff. And I mean, I found a tray that kind of has that, I think it's called shibori, where they take fire the clay and then they put like paper and different things on there and let it burn in different spots. Okay. So I'm still learning about all that stuff too. So very excited about that. To me, this is the hardcore mid-century.
This was something that we talked about yesterday when we did a little thrift trip yesterday. Just kind of like after work type stuff. And you were talking about, you had found a sweater for me in a Goodwill, and you're like, this sweater, it looks like it's either handmade or it's like, something. And I can't sell that stuff because it doesn't have a brand, but you have such a following on your Instagram that it's more of that style versus the actual like branding of stuff.
Yeah. And that's what I really do try to bring to my followers and my customers. It's like the look. What can you pair it with? How can you? I feel like these are perfect for those people who are like, I don't like all that stuff. I like minimalism.
Right.
This stuff would look amazing next to all that, a cream couch and this and all the wood that's out right now that looks like I call it peasant wood, but it's not like literally stuff that peasants use. Okay. To like dough bowls and bread plates. And they've got the cuts in them and they're jagged, and that is very, very big. That's another big trend. And that kind of stuff looks so good with those. So I'm beyond excited about these. Might bring them to the show. Might try to keep them. I don't know.
The show we're talking about is...
we'll put a logo up there.
We'll put the logo up there, but it's one we've been hyping up. It's April 26th in Norwood, in Cincinnati. Factory 52. City Flea, which we're affiliated with because we are pretty much at every City Flea.
They're not affiliated. They're just, they let us.
Right, they let us. They like us.
They like us, and they let us a lot. We end up getting, you apply for the show, and we always make it.
But that's one of the things that, sets, I think, our stuff apart is that, yes, I do eBay. I do Poshmark. I've been trying to get my Depop kind of back up and going.
Yeah.
But your Instagram, your eBay, but these shows is where you can really connect with your core customers and show them how to style things, because and what we're going to do when we get to Factory 52 next week is we're going to show you guys like how we set up and stuff like that. I have it all planned out in my head.
Yes, and then I will throw a wrench in it somehow.
Yeah, somehow.
And annoy him. But it's okay.
How you curate everything and display it, it's amazing. So,
and I love, honestly, it's just the vintage show for me. What I'm really hyped about, sales, of course, but talking to people that actually know a little bit about what I'm selling, they're interested in learning more, and it's just like honestly, it's just like I get to speak to my fans.
Yeah.
And I learn a little bit from them. They learn a little bit from me.
Right.
That's what's really exciting for me.
Yeah,
about
talking to people at the shows who are interested in vintage. It's kind of like we're just having conversations with people,
with friends, almost.
Yeah. And we see a lot of people that we like from time to time that we go to see Flea,
and come back to see it. So it's just that's. So I'm very excited about that.
We're excited about it.
Yay!
All right. So what did you sell then?
Wow. You said it like I never sell anything. No. Would you just sell anything? What'd you sell? Okay, so pottery. Again, I'm obsessed. So this is something that was around my house growing up. So this is the 1980s postmodern Art Deco revival.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
I know it is. So I always used to call it the 80s style stuff when I was growing up. So it's always like rounded shapes, has subtle lines. That is the big comeback right now.
Okay.
I can't stress that enough.
Well, the color, that's beautiful.
The color's beautiful. A lot of people, black, burgundy. You can find these in so many colors. There's always, I call it the 1980s burgundy. That pink, the black. It always has just some kind of subtle lines. And I've got several of these pieces.
Yeah.
And it's coming back in a big way. Art Deco is very cool, has always been cool. But this revival in the 1980s, these big manufacturers came back and said, hey, let's redo some of these patterns. Nice. And they were pretty affordable. But I mean, I'll show you the picture of how I styled it and what other things you can do with these. Can look so modern and fresh. But this one sold off my IG. I'm pretty excited about it.
Nice.
I love buying these. I love finding them. And it's just got that one little line through there for a little bit of style. But again, some of you minimalists out there that are afraid of all these big patterns, the 1980s, the Art Deco revival might be the way for you to go.
I mean, 80s weren't that long ago, right?
You know what? Anyway, this goes back to every time I ask Troy about something, whether it be an outfit, a sweater, he'll say, oh, no, that's not vintage. That's from the 90s. And I'll go, no, the 90s was a very long time ago. So we all need a little reminder. What do you have now?
You were in the what? You were in the 80s
with
that. I'm going back to the 70s with this. This is from this is a cool jacket
that's
for cool. Cardigan, Letterman cardigan, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I got on a Depop bundle. So one of the ways that I source things sometimes is to find things on other people's platforms that I can bundle together and usually get a good deal. Usually when I'm looking for things on other platforms is I'm looking for something that might not, that stands out in their collection that they might not be their core. So this was one of the items that was in somebody's collection that I could tell they were really into like 90s stuff, Y2K stuff. And all of a sudden here's this
random
1969, 1971 cardigan Letterman jacket. But this one was really cool. I love it. It's nice and thick as well.
It's very thick.
Yeah.
And I mean, the letters are just, I'm used to, I've seen the lettering and the thing. I've not seen this on the back though. Usually I've seen these on the Letterman jackets, not on the sweaters.
I love that it says the Blue Ponies. Blue Ponies, and this was somebody named Dave owned this, but you can always get those off if you want. But
I think it's cooler. Leave it alone. Let that stuff stay on there.
Put his name on the inside too. And this is from Leslie Knitting Company.
What do you mean? Is his written?
Yeah. No, he's sewn his name on the inside as well.
His mother did that, or his graughma.
His grandma,
or his aunt, or his favorite aunt.
In the 1971.
He did not do that. If you did, if you're Dave and you know he did it, then I'm impressed.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty much think it's his mom.
But I love these things. I love taking these to the vintage shows.
That's awesome.
I think there's something that, like, when you see something like this in person, you're like, yeah, this is cool. And
but it's just such a high quality sweater.
Yeah.
And then even just the big banded hem at the bottom, all throughout.
Yep, the buttons are cool.
Kind of makes me sad. I mean, Letterman jackets are cool, but I don't know why sweaters stopped being a thing.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that's it. Just jackets only.
I think this is like perfect. Well, speaking of jackets, though,
Dun-dun.
I'm going to talk about. We're staying in the 1970s. Now, this jacket is from Remy Leather, and Remy Leather,
not Remy Martin,
Remy Martin, because if you Google that, it'll come up with a bunch of Remy Martin.
Remy
models.
Martin. That's what I want to think of.
But this company is a family-owned company, and they're actually still around. I wrote a few notes down. They started in 1971, and the jacket that I sold, I got here. It was a lot of items that I got from an estate sale. I can't speak right now for some reason. An estate sale.
I'm distracting you.
So this was probably one of their original lines. This is definitely from the 1970s. It was in great condition. The leather was beautiful. Yeah. But this company, Remy, look them up. I'll put a link in the show notes.
Put a link because I would just go to Remy Martin.
They still make leather jackets today. It's owned, family owned, and it's ran by the grandson of the founder. So they're out of Los Angeles, California, really cool. And they still manufacture most of their stuff in the United States.
Really?
So it is high quality leather products, and so this just happened to be in that estate sale. I think it was kind of like one of those things that in the lot that I bought was just really overlooked.
Yeah, it was a sleeper.
Yeah, it was a sleeper, and I sold that thing for a good amount of money. So I was
I'm
happy
highly
with
distracted because I'm seeing something else really cool.
What?
I mean, I used to be able to know how to sew. No, okay, I used to be able to repair things. I'm not a seamstress.
Oh, you're seeing the pocket with the H in the
I'm
H?
just get out of here, though.
Oh, I know, right?
The detail, so I can still put my hand in there.
Is there anything in those pockets?
Oh, Lord. I know.
You know, it's funny because sometimes you get like the grandma sweaters always have little tissues in the
tissues or little Werther's original wrapper.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just I'm a sucker for little quality details, and that was a lot. That's really cool.
Yep. All right,
very cool.
That's my next two things. Now,
that's your two things.
Yeah, absolutely. What is your thing?
What's your two things? Should I start with something I found or sold?
Found. You didn't find those.
You know what? Wait a second.
Who found those?
Okay.
Okay,
It's been founded.
I won't ruin the story.
It's been founded. How about that?
Ruin the story.
It's now in our possession. Is that good enough? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Last time we were here, I whined and cried because I wanted. Okay, you know what? I wanted lucite grapes. We finally did find some. Super excited about it. A lot bigger than I thought I was going to be able to find. The wood is a synthetic material. Which I'm still happy about it because I know sometimes they'll have the wooden, like an actual piece of wood in there. And these are kind of a reddish pinkish color. And I just so excited to find these because I still need to find onyx grapes.
Okay.
I've never found those yet. One thing that I did think was really awesome is when I got home, I did find they glow in the dark. Ooh. So I'll put the picture up of the screen. And some of you are like, oh, that's not very bright. This leads me to me learning a little bit about uranium glass versus selenite versus there's like 4 others. And I'll put the little chart up at the screen because I was familiar with uranium glass after watching that great movie, The Uranium Girls, and some of the other things that I knew it was on dials of watches and clocks so it could glow in the dark during the, I believe it was World War II period.
Right.
Particularly pilots when they've got to do lights out, they're bombing, and they could still see things on their odometers and speedometers and all these other. So they use this uranium product to shine and highlight in the night. And then they started putting them. People thought it was so great. People were putting them on decorative accessories, glasses, all kinds of other things.
Sure. Things that touch your body. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I know. So watch that movie and you'll kind of find out what happened. These are just so fun. I'm so excited about them. I can't take it. So I'm going to bring these with me to the show. I found another
I found them.
So I was minding my own business as I do, hunting and digging in one of our local
St. Vincent de Paul.
Wow, are they going to sponsor us? Okay.
Our son goes to DePaul, so
it's not affiliated.
It's probably affiliated. They gave him a scholarship.
Well, because we buy so much. We're kidding.
Yeah, because we shop so much at St. Vincent de Paul.
I was there digging because it's a digging and hunting location. And Troy's like, "Are you done? I've got something to show you. Come on, come on, come on, come on."
I grabbed her. She was in the back of the store.
And they had 2 of these underneath the the special area on behind the counter. Grabbed them. I was able to make a deal and got both of them.
And this is the fun thing about you is that you make friends at every thrift shop that we go to. You just know. So this manager, she has stalked this manager from different stores.
I didn't stalk him. I just recognized when he's at a different store.
So she knew him from a different St. Vincent de Paul. Then she saw him there at this other St. Vincent de Paul, and went up to him and said, "I need a better deal on these."
No, I do not. I always go, "Hi, what can we do here?"
Oh, okay.
That is all I ever say.
What can we do here?
What can we do here?
Yes.
How can this work out?
It's all about building relationships.
It's relationships, and all I do is ask questions, and I'm nice.
The answer is always no until you ask.
This is my point.
Yes.
So super excited about that. So that's a found item. So should I do a sold as well?
Sure. Yes. So.
Okay. Boom. Chicka boom. So back to our handy dandy chart of glowing things.
Oh.
So this is a vintage juicer. And I happened to find just this one little glass. So I sort of sold it as a set. I mean, I think it's a shot glass, but I just thought it was really cool. Now this is what you're more used to. Now this is the uranium that you're used to seeing light up so crazy.
Let me hold it up.
Light it up.
Light it
up, babe. Light it. So, and I sold this as a set of 2 on my IG.
So if you juice an orange in here, does the juice
Lord,
glow?
That blip, I don't know. You use the juicer at your own risk.
Right.
But I know
nice
that
and bright white teeth afterwards.
Oh, stop. But I know that a lot of people just love to have these in their cabinet, like a curio cabinet.
Sure.
And some people actually install the black light.
I've seen
the little light in the
so
cabinet so that they can see the glow.
Yeah.
But I think this was just a really fun find.
Don't take a Geiger counter to it. It'll start going off because there's so much uranium.
Yeah. So the
radioactive materials.
But I love juicers. This was one of the biggest ones I've ever found.
We love juicing.
No. We're not doing that. No, sir. So yeah, I did sell this on my IG page.
Okay.
And
very cool.
That's so cool. I love all kinds of kitchen gadgets, kitchen things. I just love that in the vintage time frame, it wasn't just about things just being useful. It was about them looking decorative as well.
Yeah.
Because people would have them out on their counter or in their curio cabinets, as we used to say. So it just didn't need to look so utilitarian. That wasn't something that people wanted. So these are just great examples. And I sold that. I'm very excited about that.
Awesome job.
Thank you. I thought so.
All right. Next thing's from me.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, 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 woo.
So exciting.
So exciting. So I found these.
Mm-hmm.
I found this one. And this is a really cool racing jacket, like a mechanic jacket with the stripe on it and everything. It's got the really cool patch that says Cyprus Baghdad Copper Company Safety Award. So somebody got this.
So they got the safety award.
They got the safety award. It's got that quilted lining on the inside, so it's going to stay nice and warm.
Warm, yeah.
But this jacket is not for sale because I'm going to wear it to the vintage show.
But the last
coming up, I'm going to wear it. But the last time
you wore a jacket to the vintage store, what happened?
Somebody bought the jacket that was on my back. It was a old denim jacket that I found in the basement of a mouse-infested house somewhere in the middle of Indiana.
Nobody needs to know about that.
Anyways, sorry. But somebody bought the jacket off my back. So who knows? I'll walk around with the jacket.
We do wash our items.
Yeah. And maybe somebody will buy this off my back as well.
Troy, you were not appropriately dressed that day, and it was unseasonably cold at the vintage market.
And it was cold
and we were literally packing up to go home. He was getting the car. I was making another bundle to pack up and put away. And he comes back with this little T-shirt on. I'm like, put your jacket on. Why are you so cold? He goes, oh, somebody bought it.
Yeah. But I got a surprise. I got a surprise for you.
Surprise.
I bought you a little jacket too.
Matching friends.
This is a cute little jacket. It's a aviation, really cool aviation apparel, flight apparel, with the little rat race patch on it. but it's got the racing stripes on it. So I figure I have the racing stripes.
Okay, but I like this
Tanya
little.
has the racing stripes.
I like this little crazy face.
Yeah. So we're gonna have matching little jackets.
Little jackets because we're best thrifting friends.
Best thrifting friends. We're going to be at the show, and these are going to be our little jackets.
Little jackets, so you can find us.
But you can buy the jacket off her back too. I'll bring another jacket.
We are bringing extra jackets just in case.
Absolutely.
It's we're not opposed to doing that.
And the thing that I sold were these Jordache jeans that were also in that estate sale bundle.
Jordache.
So the funny thing, so these jeans I sold them for a pretty decent amount, but they go for good money.
Yes.
So the one thing that I found out about Jordache jeans is that the company was started by two brothers. Their names were the Nakash brothers, and they had a store where they sold like high-end denim stuff. And
so their names were not Jordache.
No, they started in the late 1960s, 1969.
Okay.
They had a store in New York, and they in 1970, 1977, the store caught on fire. Completely burned down all their inventory.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows?
No.
And they're like, this is a perfect opportunity for us to come out with our own jeans.
Okay.
And we'll call them Jordache jeans. In 1978, they came out with Jordache.
Does it sell, why that name? Does it mean something?
I don't know.
Oh, Lord. Jordache.
But yeah, so they got on the trend of these high-end designer jeans that they sold for years.
Sure.
But now they wanted to make one their own. They got Brooke Shields to do their advertising for them.
Yes.
Became widely popular. And the rest is history. I think by 1980 they had like $300 million in sales of jeans.
Yes.
So
the jeans that my sister and I always looked at them in the store, but man, we could not get them over our hips. They are not made for all body types. I will tell you what.
They're for skinny girls.
Skinny girls.
Yeah.
No hips.
But anytime I find these Jordache jeans, I do pick them up. But the ones with the gold pony on them is the ones that are the kind of a little bit more desirable. But I found the history of the company itself to be kind of intriguing, that these guys kind of from the ashes built a company.
I still want to know what the Jordache, if it was like a grandma's last name or something. That's such a weird name. But I don't think that, because you weren't a girl in the 80s.
Yeah.
It was a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
You really had to have these and wear them with your little candies, espadrilles, and mules, and it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're able to get this quintessential jean vintage right there.
Absolutely.
So what else you got, brother?
That's it.
That's what you got?
Yep. Bring it home.
Oh, what? Okay. So I'm going to go over what I sold. This is not exactly what I sold, but this is an example thereof.
That thing's pretty cool.
And it's heavy.
Make me a dirty martini in that?
Right?
You know what?
Yes, it's heavy. This was a set of 3 E Cointreau martini glasses. I did not have one before we started. The only difference.
I'll take one right now.
You know what? The only difference of when I sold, it had the actual signature, E Cointreau signature, and then it also had what we like to call captured bubbles. So that's when you can see all the bubbles inside of the base.
I didn't know that's what that was called.
That's captured bubbles or encapsulated bubble. Yes, I watched a lot of Blown Away and a lot. I really did learn a lot of these terms. I like that show. All those shows. There's an English show that's kind of like that. They just do pottery. That's my new thing right now.
Right,
I'm working my way through there, and I'm just learning a lot of terms. But when you talk about just decorating your bar, decorating your bar carts. Look, if you don't have space for a bar cart, you don't have a big house, you don't have a bar, just get a little end table, push it in the corner, and really dress it up. I mean, sometimes you go to a vintage store on eBay, you can only get one. Why not?
Right.
Put all the little, put your vintage matchbooks in there.
Right.
Put the drink stirrers in there. It's just.
It's nice and sturdy too.
It's.
Like, I feel more comfortable with this
than a regular.
Drinking a martini out of this.
The bottom is weighted.
Yeah.
And this to me is a sculpture. It's just sitting, it's a sculpture.
It's really cool.
So, just lift up your game. People who want to have a bar in their house or bourbon tasting rooms, that's become a new thing in the suburbs for both men and women.
We live in the suburbs. Where's my bourbon tasting room?
Okay, we're not doing that though.
Wow.
Because we have a vintage basement. So there we go.
Our basement is our shop.
Is kind of our storage. But I mean, it's just why get regular stuff when you can get just something so cool like this, men or women, depending on what you're in. That doesn't matter.
Like Cosmo in there would look so cool.
So cool. Yeah. So cool. But even if you're not drinking out of it, honestly, put a plant in it. I mean, this is just a great piece. That's a glass piece. This is a great piece. So I did sell a set of 3 of those signature ones. This is another company that kind of, did their own version, but still just as great and just as wonderful quality. So that's a sold.
Good sell.
Sold. And this? Then, yes, you can hold it up, pretty boy.
Me?
Yes. So I found 4 of these, which I'm super excited about. This is some artist. I'm sorry, I don't know his name yet, but I'm going to figure that out. So this is wood block art. So what that means is you take a piece of, usually it's birch. It can be other wood, but I think it's birch is easiest to carve. They draw on it. They draw a whole scene, pattern, or whatever, and then carve it out.
Okay.
That paint, then put whether it be paper or cloth on top of it, and that's how you get the painting.
That's amazing.
I mean, I don't even understand that level of creativity.
Yeah.
To get the perspective, the colors, the shapes, I took a woodshop class in 6th grade, and I mean, just sanding I thought was too much work.
Yeah.
So I don't understand how you could do all this. And I think it's out of El Salvador is actually, so I'm going to look up a lot more about this, but I'll show you definitely shots of the other ones that I found.
Oh, nice.
They're all just wonderful. And definitely, I will be taking these to the show. I'm going to try to find out more about it though. But I mean, the perspective, the colors are so mid-century perfect. And it's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Why would you get rid of this? But somebody had 4 of them and got rid of them.
And same manager.
You know what? Stop telling my secrets.
Gave her a good deal on
I got a good deal. They were more than my usual.
More than the usual.
The usual price.
She got them down.
But still more than the usual.
Right.
Even though I got him down. So we're not going to get him in any kind of trouble. So this
no
and
names.
then
no names are mentioned.
And then it even has like some writing on the back.
I tried to translate it for her, but my Spanish.
Your broken Spanish didn't get it.
12th grade Spanish.
Oh no, your 3rd grade Spanish.
Oh,
geez. And then it even has the framing company that was out of El Salvador. So this is just an amazing piece. I think that somebody who has an office or, just a really cool living room.
Yeah.
This is just I'm ecstatic about those pieces. I really am. That's to me is just the quintessential. Why do people buy things from me at a show?
Yeah.
Because I went out and found this for them. You know what I mean? And I've put them all together and I'll merchandise it around.
Curated perfectly.
The curated aspect of it just really, I'm so excited about those.
Nice. I'm excited about it too.
I hope to find out a little bit more about this artist. And if you know something about, please put it in the comments. I love learning from other people.
Yeah. That's one thing.
I absolutely do love learning from other people.
One thing that we enjoy about this a lot is being able to not only give the history lesson of a product, but also just that learning process and finding out a little bit more. And then also like the stuff like your mugs that were completely almost like handcrafted.
They are
such a styled item that you can bring to the table as well.
Yeah.
But history, styled, personal stuff, fun stuff.
And
that's what we do.
And I think one thing that we've given up on is people have given up on gifting unique items.
Wow.
We've all ran out of time and ran out of, all kinds of things. And there's, pre-made gift baskets. And I'm encouraging everyone to find something unique, good colors, good design. Get something vintage for somebody for a housewarming. I think they'll just be ecstatic that you thought about them and you personalized it like that.
This is very true.
I think that's something that has gone away, and I think we all need to go back to it for sure. Who knows with things being imported? I don't know. I don't know what's happening there.
To be honest with you, I think the trend of buying used buying vintage is going to increase over
It's
the
got to
next
increase.
couple years. Even now, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, our sales have been pretty decent recently.
Yeah.
But we're excited about the show because that'll be kind of the
but
first
I'm just
show
telling
of the year. We're
everybody.
going to see how that goes. But our sales have been good.
There's no tariff on vintage.
Yeah, there is no tariff.
There's no tariff on vintage, so
and
just
repurposing,
let you know.
reusing,
repurposing, reusing, rethinking, and then redecorating.
And redecorating.
There you go.
And I think it's going to be a big trend for this year. So
I'm
excited to see how all that goes.
How it goes. So get out there and get out to your local vintage market. Buy from those sellers on eBay, Depop.
Or especially from our eBay.
R2.
Yeah, I'll put the links
again. Hey, look at that. We got some stuff too.
Put the links down there for you guys. Well, thanks
Thank you so much. I hope you learned a little bit. If you have some information to give us, we'd love to get it.
Yeah. So 513 Pickers, make sure you guys hit that like and follow. I don't know. I always wait to the end to say that. So make sure you guys subscribe, follow us or whatever.
Yes.
Hit that like button. Give us a thumbs up. So we can
keep doing it.
Leave us a comment that if you've made it this far through the video. Leave us a comment about what you like the most out of the 3 things that we've shown you guys.
What are your favorites?
We appreciate it, guys.
We'd love to know what you love. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.